All right, we are recording. Hello to everybody watching from home.
Hello.
This is the Chronicles of the Folk Band.
Yeah, it is.
Session 9, I believe. The Folk Band has just recently kicked the crap out of the Zentarum at the Owlbear Monastery. The Folk Band arrived back at the monastery with a beat-up Jordan in tow. Master Kader met them outside. That caused a little bit of a commotion to see some students show up with a bloodied and beaten master after their outing. So students started to kind of congregate around, but Master Kader brought you all very quickly over to the stables to try to, I guess, wrangle a little bit of that. And Master Valastra joined right afterwards. You talked a little bit and got a little bit of information from Jordan as he showed you where the secret door into the basement of the monastery was. You went down below and found the Faceless One, who was not surprised at your entrance. He tried to silver tongue his way into convincing you that he was a good guy, but you've heard that song and dance before. You were not all that taken by his words, although some of them struck home. So there's a little soul searching going on based on some of the things he said. But you...
Oh, sorry.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Click.
And you get a little bit of information, whether it's true or not. You're not really sure, but he did divulge a little bit of information, both about the Zentarum and about the war with the giants going on. But in the end, he let out that he should have killed Valastra a long time ago. And that was the final straw for Ma'am, who channeled her inner Vark rage and kicked us off, leading the charge against him. He activated an anti-magic device, which immediately caused magic effects to cease in the area, including Amos disappearing and Zwazos' sword to blink out. The group quickly realized exactly what was happening there, and Zwazos, although he did just about land a dagger strike on this master, decided that his best interest was to take the device outside of range so that the rest of them could commence the ass beating of the Faceless One. It went perfectly according to plan, and the box was removed from the room. Valastra led the charge in the beatdown of the Faceless One, but Nyx got the final blow in. Very satisfying moment, I imagine, for Nyx taking his dumbass out. And then once he was taken down, it took you a little while to beat the snot out of his pet spider, but he did exactly that, winning the day. And then heading outside where you found the entire monastery up in arms. Student fighting student, master fighting master. Zwazos was able to take down one of the masters, and Kader finished beating down the other one as the group arrived into the light. Midnight Forest announced that they were looking for people to fight against the giants. They were much more eloquent than I was just now. If you didn't watch the video, go watch it. And Valastra gave her support and offered the support of the monastery, gave the students a chance to either join her in the quest to help Nyx / Midnight Forest in the fight against the giants, and to a person. All the students joined in. You saw a few of them even claw their own skin off on their arms to remove Zentarum tattoos that they had received. And the monastery is now loyal to the folk band, and we'll see where that goes. So you all had just a moment to kind of gather yourselves after that. And it sounds like the first thing you all want to do is go see what is in the basement.
So excited.
Here we are. You've all kind of leveled up. We did that off camera. And although you technically don't have that stuff yet, because you still need a long rest before that fully takes effect. But I have kind of promised that nothing's going to happen between now and then.
They don't need to know that.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So here you are. The students have kind of settled down. Master Kader says that he's going to kind of gather up the students. He'll, bring everyone back into the monastery, kind of calm them down, answer questions. So that's going to happen. He's going to recommend the tying up of Master Indres, who also survived the fight, similar to Jodan, for questioning to find out what they might know. Assuming his suggestion is acquiesced, he's going to go ahead and tie them up and move them to a more secure part of the monastery. Velastra says she's going to help him with that. She knows the students are going to have questions. She probably has more answers than even he does. She looks to you before doing so. Do you need my help in the basement? Seems like everything's fine down there, but do you need anything from me?
Well, do we want to bring, Jordan seems to be the one who's an expert in what's down there. Do we want to bring him down and make him tell us where shit is? Is me asking everyone else?
Yeah.
I'm clicking the wrong parts of my screen. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I think we can find things. I don't know how much Jedi actually knows. Oh Lord.
Well, let's start with just going downstairs and looking around. Or, Nick, we spoke about this also off camera. We go downstairs and confirm that time dilation inside the room carries on.
It's strange. So you have no way of really confirming if that happens because time doesn't stop based on the Feywild.
Oh, I thought there was something significant about that room where.
Yes. So what he said is that while you're in this room, time doesn't pass, and I'm not sure if he specifically said it, but in the material plane.
Oh.
And so it kind of, yeah. So, I want to explain how this works, but there's no way you all would know how this works. So I also don't want to explain how this works.
Are we going down there to look around? Because ma'am might look for some sort of notes on this magic or anything like that.
Yeah. So assuming you all are going down into the basement to look around for said notes and such. Okay. All right, let's move over to the basement. Sawzos. Bark. Oh, man, you did get beat up, didn't you?
Yeah.
What did next? No, I didn't.
Okay. Quick question.
Yes.
When I level up, would the cleric be able to switch out a spell too?
So remember, clerics, they prepare them on a long rest. So you can swap out all your cleric spells on a long rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So every long rest, you can change what cleric spells you know for the day.
That's right.
I'm just realizing that I was muted, and that's why Mario talked over me. But Nick, I was going to ask you mechanically, with Amos having been, kind of pooped away, do I have to do another? Do I have to do a whole other casting of Find Familiar, or can I resummon him as though I had dismissed him?
I'll say it's just another summoning because he was dismissed. The magic was dismissed. He wasn't killed.
So again, poof, I want Amos.
Okay.
Who killed the faceless one again?
You did, because you're awesome.
Yeah, you did.
Thanks. I forgot whether it was me or Blastra.
The
I know
Lastra
Blastra.
knocked him down the first time, but he had the
Oh,
feature
right.
Right.
where he came back. And then he tried to block every single strike you made, but he couldn't stop them all. Oh, I'm gonna just
Can't stop the folk band.
there you go. You guys can just move your tokens around. All right, so you come down here and you saw what you saw before. You know, this place looks ancient. Like these crumbling rocks and stone from the walls just look like it's been there for hundreds of years. The cobwebs and stones, the dust and the cobwebs are built up over many, many years. The table in the middle does have a few things on it. That's where the box was, which is currently in Zwazos's possession, I believe. And other than that, there's a few other. There's a book on the table. There's a couple of like writing utensils. There's a stack of paper, and then kind of to the north in the room, there's kind of like an old bench. So there's a stone bench there. There's a similar one to the south, but it's kind of broken. There are a number of bookcases on the walls here, containing books that some look like they have accumulated the dust of many, many years, and others look like they've been used. They're a little bit less dusty. And then the desk itself has a number of papers on it, but there's also a number of like burned scraps of papers as well. And there's a teleportation circle in the bottom right that you can clearly see. And well, you're taking plenty of time. You don't have to. I'm not going to make you roll investigation checks. There's nothing in here that's truly hidden. Well, I probably shouldn't have said that. Anyway, so as you're kind of looking around the room as well, Ma'am and Zwazo specifically, but Naruk, you kind of notice it as well. You're finding a lot of runes carved into the walls, like, and they look ritual, not like artistic, but they definitely seem like it was done in a very specific way for magical reasons. And every once in a while, one or two of them will glow, and you kind of catch it out of the corner of your eye. But when you look, it's already fading. And you kind of get the idea that there's wardings on this room, but normally when you see wardings, they're confined to maybe a foot or two in diameter, like they're small. But this is just like the walls are just like, once you look up close, the walls are covered in these runes, and they extend to the ceiling and to some part the floor as well. And even the ones that look like they've taken damage over time, when you catch them glow, the damage doesn't extend to the glow. You can see that the glow still has the original shape of whatever room was there. And you start to get the impression that when the runes glow, it's because they're being activated.
Could I make an Arcana check to see if I recognize any of these runes? As I'm pretty familiar with abjuration magic. I'm familiar with runic magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna do an Arcana check, and I'm gonna have you do it with advantage.
Excellent. Nice.
21. Excellent. Yeah. Once you start to see this, like you kind of start to get a little consumed by it. You're like, you've never seen anything to this scale and this extent, and the way that the runes have been used, you're just fascinated with it, and you're just starting to really
just kind of like touching them and
and you find sections of it that you clearly recognize. One of them has to do with the flows of magic and their effect on time, and every once in a while you catch and then you start to, like, as you catch this one glow, you see out of the corner of your eye another section glows, at the same time, and when you go and check that, it's the same rune but slightly modified. It's the same sequence of runes that you recognized over here, but slightly and then you start to see it more and more, and you start to see that there's a circular pattern of these runes that all have very minor adjustments until that last minor adjustment gets you back over to where you started. So you're feeling that there's some type of a circular ward that has something to do with time, but changing time. You get the impression that it's a ward against the changing of time.
Okay. Ma'am jots down some notes about this, like writes down some of the runes. Yeah. This is very
Can I
interesting.
see if there's anything else inscribed on the runes?
In what way?
Like I don't know, there's like if there's like any like any like messages within the runes, like something like I don't know. Yeah.
So you don't see any type of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Shit. Cipher. You don't see any type of cipher.
Oh, that's it. Perfect.
In the runage, if that's what you're looking for. The more you're looking at it from more like a language perspective, and you quickly figure out that this is all magical warding. That none of this is actual script or any messaging.
Okay.
But it's all different types of warding magic.
Okay.
And ma'am, one of the things you recognized was of all the runes and all the writings and all the wardings, the time wardings are just a small circular section within the room. Mm-hmm. And there's so many more wardings going on. Does anybody want to look at anything specific in the room?
I was gonna just look around at like the notes, and then also like I see like the bookcases around. Is that true that there's bookcases still, or is that just part of this? Okay.
Yep. And in the bookcases, there are sections that are still very dusty, like they haven't been touched, and there are books that show that they've definitely been moved and opened and used. Where did you want to go first?
Probably right where the faceless one was.
Okay. You want to check the desk?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so you're internally conflicted at this point, and I imagine you're looking for any explanation as to what the faceless one was truly doing here.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start looking at the papers on the desk, for the most part, they look like manifests and almost like military orders. This is kind of exactly what you were hoping to find. There's manifests of supplies being redirected towards Womford. There are a few orders. One you see, so most of these orders you see have like almost a signature, like a I don't know, like a stamp of approval or a seal of approval or something like that, which seems to authorize the form or whatever it is. And most of those are this very flowing FO script, but you assume to be this faceless one, this self-proclaimed general here.
You got the books on this bookshelf here.
Yep.
Just kind of hoofing my way through them.
Okay. let's see. Next, you also find 2 pieces of burned up parchment, and only some of the messaging is still kind of legible.
I'll do my best to read it.
All right, one is written in Sylvan, which you can read. Well, you read everything.
Yeah.
One is written in Sylvan, and the parts, it's just kind of one scrap of a line of sentence, and then you find another piece that it's a longer piece, but part of it's illegible. There are sections that you just can't read. You also find the manifests of supplies heading towards Wamford. You also find one redirecting troops towards Port Last, and another one redirecting troops. Where is it? To Mirabar.
Isn't those the places that got attacked? Mirabar and Port Last.
Hey guys, just wanted to let you know I'm here. I'm following. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay.
Supplies sent to Wamford, which I know was where giants were. The temple. Don't be seen by the one that's made the rest of this.
All right. While you're going through those things, Naruk, you are looking through the books here. Let's see what you have you do an investigation check to see what you can find in there. Oh Jesus, you find everything.
Yeah.
All right. Shit, I don't even know what everything is. All right, so you start looking through, and you can see that there are some books, like I said, that obviously haven't been touched in quite a long time. But other books looks like they have been taken out and put back. And you focus your search really on those. And immediately, one of the books you can see looks like when you were up in the library, there were 2 sets of script. One was really just a very few books written in the script that looked like they were prior to whoever chronicled everything. This book is written in that same hand, whatever hand predated Velastra writing all the records, so that you know that this is coming from whoever originally was in the monastery. What you read is about the founding of the monastery itself, which was not a monastery when it was founded. It was originally created to be a bastion against attack. And the more you read, the more you find that the entire monastery was built with a group of magic users, not just wizards, but clerics and sorcerers as well. And they built the monastery to withstand physical attack and magical attack. And so most of the monastery is warded against magical intrusion. It lists a few things that are impossible inside the monastery, as well as being like from outside in. They list things like messaging. You can't send messages in or out of the monastery. Visibility won't cross the lines of the monastery. So if you can be invisible in the monastery, but if you step the monastery, you become visible, and vice versa. If you step into the monastery while invisible, you'll become visible. It also chronicles the making of the safe house in the basement, and how it was warded against everything they could possibly ward against. And one of the wizards at the time was practicing something called chronology, which wasn't well known in the world at the time. And he professed to put wardings on the room that would protect it from the wild changes in the flow of time within the Feywild. And that section of the book is actually in quotes. And the author goes on to say that he has no idea what that means. That even the wizard himself couldn't explain exactly what it was he warded against. But the other things that it wards against are teleportation. You can't open rips in the fabric of dimensions within the monastery and the basement itself. And certain types of change magic won't work in there as well. Things like he specifically calls out polymorph, for whatever reason, doesn't work within the basement itself. And he goes on to talk about the theological ramifications of being able to stop divine magic and things like that within a space. But most of that is kind of more pontificating than anything. You can tell that the writer wasn't maybe happy about all the experimental magic used in the creation of this kind of bastion here. And that's, after that, it's really more it becomes his ranting about people not respecting traditional magic. Ma'am, Zwazos? Okay. Ma'am, you were looking at the runes. Zwazos, is there anything specific you wanted to check out?
I wanted to check out I believe I tried to move over to the table. I also noticed the several bookshelves. There's one here to the south that I had tried to send Amos to go look at, and the others to the south as well. But I was hoping to check out the table, and then maybe also the sort of altar-ish kind of thing up here. I think you called it a desk in the last session.
This thing?
Yep, that guy. Yep. And then essentially, really just, I want to kind of look around. Does anybody know detect magic? Because I don't.
I thought
it doesn't do damage, so I didn't bother because I'm a dumbass.
I can ritual cast it.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
I thought that would be the easiest way to look through like the rubble.
Yep. Okay. So you start at the table, and you find that there's writing utensils, there's paper, most of it's blank, but there is the kind of the big book / tome that's right in the middle. And when you open that up, it's clear that this is kind of a journal of sorts of the Faceless One, but it's vague. Like it's ridiculously vague. Like he's got passages in there like, "We defeated them the other day." Like you start to read through it, and like you get the impression that he wanted to keep a record, but didn't want anyone else to know. But he didn't want to write it in a cipher. He really just. It seems like the passages are small ticklers for his own memory, not necessarily an accounting of something that happened. And so you look through it, and you're trying to find little tidbits, And you start to realize, you start to kind of get the idea that he reveled in like winning. Not so much any specific theology or even that he cared much about the Zentarum, but like most of his stuff was written about his personal victories, the time that he sent troops to the right place at the right time, the time that he, beat up a Zentarum member who was mouthing off to him and no one ever found out about it. And but no details to identify who it might have been or when it might have happened or where it, but just these little kind of ego boosters. Let's see. Amos goes through a couple of the bookshelves, does find a couple of books. Most of them seem to be history of the Feywild itself. One of the books talks about the different tabaxi that come from the Feywild. Another one looks into the blink dogs and the blink wolves of the Feywild. And another one that Amos immediately brings to your attention is a book about the Shadowfell and how it talks about the few times that people have transitioned to the Shadowfell and come back, and what they've said about the Shadowfell, the creatures that are there, and the perils of trying to navigate the Shadowfell itself, if you're not, in quotes, invited. Mark, is there anything specific you want to look at or check out?
Nope, I'm just kind of meandering right now, but I gotta go AFK for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I can still hear everything though.
I hate to do this. Do you have the map of the Sword Coast?
Yes. You want the huge map?
I saw Iron Soul, and I thought I saw a town that had iron in it, but I don't know whether it's on here. Yeah.
You can see the whole thing, right?
Most of it, yeah. Iron Master, that's not it.
Oh, did I not share the other hand?
There is Gotland to the north in the Neverwinter Woods on the first map, which seems to be one of the north of Gatland Grim. Could be something.
No, I remember so vividly, but I don't have a note of it, which drives me nuts. But there was a town that had iron in it, and it also had a second part that had soul.
Oh no, that's Iron Master
Iron Slag
to the north.
Iron Slag.
Oh, you found it!
Iron Slag. Oh my god, it's an Ice Spires. Oh god.
Wait, where is that one? Is that to the north?
Yeah, so if you have the one with the high forest and the grandfather tree, go all the way up to the Ice Spires.
Did I mention
okay.
also a huge map of the northern Faerun on his desk as well?
Oh.
So like this map that you're looking at.
Yeah. Oh god.
So you can kind of
yeah.
It doesn't seem to show, like, you get the impression that it's this giant map of Faerun. It's got all the noteworthy things on it.
Is that a town?
What?
Gauntlinker?
Yeah, that's the one to the north of the Neverwinter Woods.
Grim.
Yeah, so something north of that.
Hang on. I start scouring pages to see if there's anything similar or if this is what we got for clues right now.
In relation to
Military movement, things that were like burnt, like trying to hide information, just scouring pages.
Okay. You do find next to the desk there's like it's like an urn or something like that. You're not sure if it's stone or some type of ceramic, but it has ashes in it. Like it seems like maybe that's where he did that. And you kind of paw through it, and you find a couple scraps of piece of paper, but they literally have like not even enough of a single word to make out, what it said.
So
north of Godwinton. Half of a word that kind of sticks in your memory a little bit.
Oh. Achilles.
I can just drag these things into my journal entries?
Yes!
This is incredible.
That is insane.
Awesome. Sweet.
Achilles, like the thing that we fought in the golden dragon there. Llama. Yeah. Oh. Yes?
Oh, maybe. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
So we got stuff when stuff is happening. Now
I hope this all saves.
I've been trying to follow along as best as I can, but have we found anything that you for like in the ways of like a key to Man's spellbook?
I don't know. I think Nurik was the closest person to finding the actual magic person. The guy that was frustrated that nobody was. Oh.
Yeah, this is quite a.
What is north of Gottlieb?
Justin, did Ma'am cast detect magic? Is she picking anything up, or did that happen?
I was gonna say I would cast it as ritual.
Yeah, I didn't know if that had happened yet. I've been trying to follow along as best I can, but I deal with some other stuff. So please forgive me.
North of Gottlieb. I mean, we have Morgur's Mound, Crags.
All right. What's next?
Put all
the clues together.
I'm just
gonna say Ma'am has started ritual casting detect magic.
Okay.
I am going to start pawing through the books and trying to see if there's like hidden passages like these passages like off of this room, or if this is it. Like,
okay. All right. So, ma'am, you were ritual casting detect magic, so that's going to take you about 10 minutes, right? Okay. Nyx, you start looking through the books, and you start to find kind of the same books that both Naruk was looking at, as well as Amos. You're finding a lot of the similar kind of information. There's you do look through the book on the Tabaxi, and you find that there are a number of different clans of Tabaxi that come from the Feywild, and there's also one or two clans that passed over to the material plane a number of generations ago, and have been living there, and the different like physical characteristics of the different clans and their mental dispositions, things like that. A little bit more history about Tabaxi in general. In your search for kind of like
that book is mine. That book is going into my bag.
I figured as much, yeah. As far as looking for secret rooms or passages or anything like that, I just threw you an investigation. All right.
Oh.
No,
Can I use my inspiration? Or is that not recommended? Is there no secret?
I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. So Nyx is literally pawing through and then like hits one shelf, and because they're all like rotting, it just goes and the books just go across the floor. And Nyx is now like desperately like, no.
Is everything okay over there?
Am I okay? Am I okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. No, I'm not okay. And Nyx is desperately pawing through the books now. Like, finally finds the one on the Tabaxi that they put on the shelf to take later, and it's like,
I wouldn't screw with this room too much, Nyx. There's a lot of.
Well, I found some pretty interesting things, and then like sees Ma'am.
Good lord.
And I think Ma'am found some interesting things.
Yep.
Like seeing them ritual cast.
Yeah, Ma'am is just sitting like flipping through her spell book at this point.
All right. And once you finish your ritual casting, the first thing that happens, and do other people, it's just you that see things light up, right? When you detect magic. Okay. So nobody else sees this, but you see this. And what you see is all the runes in the room just light up. Like suddenly, like every inch of this is just lit up beautifully. One thing you do notice is the teleportation circle as well lights up. But what you notice is that any runes that look like they would have extended into the circle have all been removed. So like the circle where that is just a blank as far as the runes of the room is concerned. You also notice the same size circle on the ceiling has had all of its runes removed, almost as if the teleportation circle needed the ceiling as well to be cleared in order for it to work. So there's almost like a column right there where there are no runes above or below. Other than that, nothing else really lights up. Although for ease of storytelling, I'll say if you drag the Faceless One's body down here, there are a few items on him that light up.
Oh, is he not down here?
Oh, I thought I already searched him. I thought that was like the first thing. Never mind. I'll search him.
I think you did say that. I didn't. I went right to the basement. So I'm going to assume that you dragged, very roughly his ass down in that basement, threw him unceremoniously in the corner while you searched around. And you do see a number of things light up on him. And I assume that cues you to go search his body as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what do you find? I'm so excited.
Come on. All right. He's got on him. So what you see light up on him, you see his boots light up. They look like leather boots, but they do light up. You see that he's wearing leather bracers on his wrists that light up. You see one of his rings light up on his finger. And the staff that he was carrying also lights up as well.
Well, shit.
And I will toss those items. Oops, let go. What's happening? Sticky.
Oh.
I'm gonna.
That's. It would take a long time to cast Identify, enough times to figure out what everything is. I mean, I guess only less than an hour.
I'm not sure if. Let's see. Okay, good. All right. So in the party sheet, you now see the boots, the bracers, the quarterstaff, and the signet ring.
I mean, I do have Identify.
Oh. Perfect.
It'd take a little bit, but
Like
could ritual cast it. Give me about 40 minutes.
Deckard Cain that shit.
We'll
Nice.
we'll save that for probably like right before we're gonna actually long rest, I think.
Yeah, I have a signet ring of my own. I forget what it's attached to.
So nobody found any kind of key, huh? There weren't any like drawers in any kinds of in any of the like desk or anything.
Oh shit! I didn't even look at the desk. I was looking at the paper on top.
Or on the faceless one.
I don't really know what. Like it's like bird's eye view. I can't really tell what things are in this room. Like
I found the Axholm. So I have the signet ring of the Axholm crest. Does this look similar?
No, this looks totally different. This, I guess, doesn't look much like a signet ring. Like it's a nice looking ring. Let's see, does it actually have a picture? Let's see if it actually has a picture. Oh, it does. It does. Yeah. Well, that's a nice looking ring.
Yeah, that is a nice looking ring.
Yeah. So it's not so much a signet as it is a single kind of semi-precious stone that, if you look at it in the right, well, if you look, if Ma'am looks at it after casting Detect Magic, it's got a very nice glow to it.
Can I tell what like types of magic these items have? I think that's a thing Detect Magic can do. Never mind. That's I hate it when my players ask me that. I'm not going to ask you that. I'm just going to cast Identify later.
So Detect Magic,
I don't know much about this. I'm sorry.
Detect Magic does lead into the school. I happen to know because the module that I'm running for my group.
I agree that it does. I don't know anything about the schools of magic, and items don't tell me what school of magic. So if you want to sit here and wait 20 minutes for me to figure it out, we can do that.
I'll just cast Identify later.
I think the school of magic only applies when something has been like if you've cast a spell on something.
Maybe.
Like if you.
I see.
Like if something's been magic.
So I'd probably see a fair amount of abjuration magic on these walls, since that's warding and stuff.
Yeah. Or if you had Spirit Shroud cast on yourself, then somebody would they would look at you and see illusion magic. Is it illusion?
Right. What is Spirit Shroud?
Or is it? It's not a necromancy. I know
Abjuration.
It is necromancy. Well, so much for all I just said. But hers is flavored as her Luxodon ancestors, so it's different.
It's totally different.
I was literally just telling Michael that ma'am doesn't do necromancy magic out of
character choices.
Yeah, does the 4 pieces that you just put in the party sheet, does those all glow to ma'am?
Yes.
Yes.
And Nick, did you mean to have one of those items be titled the boots of Elvenkind?
No. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was there.
It does say that. It just says boots to me.
Oh, it does say boots to Elvenkind, and our probably because we've run into them before.
Yeah, so that was the first one I put in there and realized they were identified. So I quickly hit the don't identify button, but apparently that doesn't take it away. So then I de-identified the other ones before putting them in there. So I guess you can.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we.
Is any of you part elf?
No. Well, I'm Sylvan, but not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nick's recognized.
I think I speak Elvish.
Yeah. Nick's totally recognizes these boots. They're kind of a staple in the Feywild.
Well, that's what I thought, because I think we ran into them before and didn't take them or sold them because we weren't using them at one point. And
I don't know, maybe.
And it's good. Oh wait, they're those boots. I don't remember particularly where we found them, but yeah, they're the boots of Elvenkind. They're the elves have them all the time. I don't remember exactly what they do for you, but
I just looked at them, and I don't think they'd be something you would just get rid of, only because they don't take attunement, so there's no reason not to have somebody wear them.
Okay, so maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Does somebody already have them, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Well, no, Nick's has the Misty Step boots, and I think those are boots on anybody in the party.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. Okay, well, yeah, so those are boots of Elvenkind, if anybody wants advantage on stealth checks.
Advantage on stealth checks?
I
love the Misty boots too much, though.
Yeah.
No, you need the Misty boots. I mean, literally any, and you're already super proficient. Any of us can do better with.
Yeah.
Maybe the one with the worst stealth could use advantage.
Yeah.
I was looking at you, Navruk.
Yeah, I was about to say. Not my best trait, so I could.
Navruk in a strength-based bar.
It's awesome.
I'll take
Although,
you took
life
6
cleric, right?
Oh, that's right. You took life cleric, so now we can get you some heavy armor.
Damn straight. Well, I'm life clerics. They're proficient in what is it?
Yeah, heavy armor. And
is it heavy armor?
I think so.
Yeah. So were there drawers or anything in? I don't. Sorry, I don't remember if I got an answer.
I only looked at the papers on top. I meant to scour the desk.
It doesn't have any obvious drawers.
Is life cleric proficiencies different from regular cleric?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you look at the life cleric features, it says you gain proficiency in heavy armor. And martial weapons, Justin?
I don't think so. For life cleric. Is it just a wooden desk?
Yep.
Does it?
It looks pretty old too, and it's not in very good condition.
Like there might be is it a solid piece of wood that's just a desk, or is it kind of like a boxy type?
Is it glowing anywhere?
It's pretty thick. It's definitely somebody used a lot of wood to create a very basic desk.
Can I just try and rip off a chunk of wood to see if there's something in there?
It looks old. It's half rotted. Ma'am grabs it and just tears it apart. And you do find that there was a little side drawer that came out, and in there you find you find a couple of things in this drawer. Number one, you find a little sack that kind of clinks and jingles when you pick it up. You also find there are 2 scrolls in this desk drawer, as well as a tiny little key.
2 scrolls, a key, and what?
And a little like like coin pouch.
Coin pouch. Okay.
Toss the coin pouch to Nyx. Immediately look at the 2 scrolls, and then I'm gonna take that key to my book.
Okay. The 2 scrolls, you could like.
Do I need to identify them, or
I don't know. I'm just wondering that. I assume if it's a spell, that you would recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not a spell in your spell book, that you would have to do an Arcana check or an identify spell.
Could Nyx just read them, given their ability to understand all language?
Spoken language.
That's not a language.
Oh, spoken.
Language.
Never mind.
Yeah, that's not a language.
Well, then I will forego those for the moment and open the spell book.
Yeah. You do recognize first and foremost, just by looking at them, that they're the same spell. Like whatever the 2 scrolls
interesting.
are, they're the same spell.
Okay.
I'm fairly sure you don't have this spell, but I'm going to look through your spells real quick here just to be sure. You do know this spell. So they are 2 scrolls of teleportation circle.
So that was one of the spells that I just took with my level up. So would I?
Yes. So your level up is actually coming after this. So
right. So I wouldn't technically know what they were.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with that. You're going the other way.
I will figure out what they are.
Yeah.
Also, Justin did say that. Yeah.
Well, let's do an Arcana check, just to see if you can figure it out. Good enough.
Teleportation circle. Just as I expected.
Yeah. And you said you were gonna do something else.
I'm gonna try that little key on this here spell book.
Okay. So you try the little key, and it does in fact open the spell book. Yep. So let me go ahead. You already know whose spell book it is. Where's the toys at this?
Oh, was there any name connected to the wizard that Naruk was reading about?
Your name? Did you say a name? I didn't.
He didn't note the name, but when he tells you about it, you're welcome to go look at the book yourself.
I will do that after I will do that at some point.
I got a nat 20 and no name. What is this?
No, you did get the name, but like to you, it wasn't important enough for you to like pick it up. Like to you, they listed all these different wizards' names, and you were just like, yeah, whatever, 1 wizard, 2 wizards, like I don't care. But the information was what you picked up. So you did see the names. You just, yeah. Unless ma'am is like, hey, did you catch this name in that book? Then you'd be like, oh, maybe I did.
I see.
Okay, so you get the book open, ma'am. So I just identified it for you, so you should be able to see what's in there. And Nyx, you opened the pouch. And after a few minutes of counting and pulling out the couple of gemstones that are also in there, you count out 42 platinum.
Whoa.
That's
84 gold pieces.
God damn.
2 diamonds.
Ooh.
And 4 emeralds. You guys have gotten.
How much are the
you all
diamonds
have
worth?
gotten pretty good at figuring out how much gems are worth. So you're able to give a rough estimate that the diamonds are each worth probably about 500 gold pieces. And the emeralds are probably worth about 200 gold pieces each on the diamonds as well.
Oh, it looks like we have no coins in the party sheet. Was that erased in the like overhaul thing?
Probably.
Damn.
Or I might have divvied it out. No.
Maybe.
Now I'm worried that we lost it.
Hang on. Let me look at my inventory. It would be down at the bottom, yeah. I do have you probably added it to me. No, you didn't. Not yet. I have over 1,000 gold pieces, which I don't think I had before. So I'm pretty sure you divvied it out.
Oh, I wonder. Okay. Well, I mean, you all probably have noticed that I have no problems giving you gold.
Gold.
So I don't have a big problem with that. So I'm not really worried about. If you feel you don't have enough, let me know.
Yeah, no, it's never been a problem.
Okay. I've got 564. Oh, those are platinum pieces.
500 platinum pieces? What? That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh my god. Oh, because that does sound right for you, Zwazos, because you don't have any other, like you exchanged.
I turned on my gold.
Platinum.
Yeah.
It looks like.
And so that's right, because I was saving up hoping that the order could help me find a particular magic item.
Right. Okay.
I added the money to me, but I did not add the diamonds or the emeralds.
Okay.
So the diamonds are worth 500 gold?
Yep, I can add them to your sheet.
That's like a resuscitation, right? That's a pretty hefty diamond.
Yeah, we need, I think, a 300 gold worth of diamond for Revivify.
Yeah, 300.
And that was just in a pouch? Is this pouch just a pouch? Or is it another magical pouch?
You get the impression that this was perhaps the Faceless One's pouch.
Right. So is this a magical haversack type of situation? Or is this...
It's big enough to hold. I mean, it's 126 total.
I don't know why I think like a $500 like gold diamond is like a giant.
No, it's small. It's just very finely cut.
It's just fine. Okay, got it.
Have you ever seen a diamond in like a raw diamond in real life? They're tiny.
Yeah. I know. I've seen the itty diamonds, but I've also seen like the fake huge gem ones, and so I don't know what we're dealing with here.
Mm-hmm.
I lied.
Is it like an absolute terrible quality, but huge, or is it a tiny?
I lied. The emeralds are worth 250 gold each.
200.
Or you estimated on the low end when you looked at them.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Okay.
So you all see Nick's just pocket that.
Yeah. I feel like all of us should get body modifications and put like the diamonds in our chest already. So like when we need to revivify, it's all there to go. Just boom.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. You don't need the diamonds, it's already there.
It's already there.
Right. Well, I think is Naruk our only revivifier?
Oh yeah, he is now.
Yeah.
We just need to give him like diamond rings on every finger.
Diamond rings on every finger, or at least like embed it into our skin at one point. Just to be like, okay, pick one ring.
Get a super bling necklace that's just like hundreds of diamonds.
Need to get, like, a scroll or like the whatever like you can do.
Listen, I used to be a merchant, so like I'm all for that.
Like,
I can see
how I used
you
to roll,
blinging out. Yeah, I can see that.
That's how you used to roll?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, big old.
Yes, I come from a merchant guild. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Although
You never did tell us how you got kicked out.
I think I spilled my guts one night.
You did. I remember that.
Really
one of the
drunk.
nights you were drunk.
Very embarrassing.
Was I there?
I don't know. I forget who was there.
I don't know. Nick has no idea. So
If Nix was there that night, they were passed out.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like, yeah, it was just like everyone was just like going to bed. I just stayed at the bar. Just got.
Can ma'am check the name of that wizard?
Yes. So a number of names are mentioned, but you do recognize that the wizard who worked on the time spells, the whatever chronology wizard. His name was Asus.
And do I
or Arisi? I mean
Arisi. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Arisi. How do we spell it again?
Aerisi. Got that on my spell book.
That is that.
I remember that I wrote it down, but I just.
Wait, what about Arisi?
That's the wizard.
That was the wizard who
I read about
his
book.
Right.
Ma'am is satisfied and is just going to plump back down and begin casting Identify. Well,
okay.
Anyone else does the rest
it's
of their
going to take
approximately
approximately 30 minutes for ma'am to fully identify each one of these items. Is there anything specific anybody else wants to do with that 30 minutes?
I'm still like scouring the books, the webs, especially the fresh webs, if there was any thing going on down here. I don't know.
I'm going to sit my camel butt on this rubble here.
Okay, very good. You pretty much find that most of the books in here, a lot of them are more history pieces of times before this monastery was built, almost like they were brought here when the building was built. They talk about Feywild things that you really have no context for. They talk about places that you don't recognize the names of, things like that. These are all kind of the books that are untouched. The ones that are touched are the books that you've all kind of already gone through and learned a fair many things. Going through the spider webs, you find a few like rat carcasses, a few beetles that you don't recognize, but other nothing else beyond that. Even kind of looking through the rubble a little bit, it doesn't seem like there was much in here when the crumbling happened. One thing you do kind of notice is that the crumbling walls just reveal more stone behind them. There are a few places where it crumbled quite a ways into the wall and there's still just stone. It kind of gives you the impression that these walls are extremely thick.
Actually, while I'm just gonna go around and just pick some books off the shelf and put them in my backpack.
Okay.
And Nick, you said that Amos found one book in particular that he brought over to show me, and I'm very sorry, I split my attention and I missed what you had said about it.
Yeah, it was a book about the Shadowfell.
That's right. I do remember now.
Okay, excellent. All right, and the first item that ma'am identifies are the filigreed metal bracers that were on his wrist, and you learn that they are bracers of defense. And then the second item that you identify Well, I'll let you choose. Is it the staff, the quarterstaff, or the signet ring?
I'm gonna save the staff for last. Let's go with the ring.
All right. So you identify the ring as a ring of free action.
I don't know what that is.
Saving the quarterstaff for last, you spend your 10 minutes and you identify this as a staff of force.
And
Are
that's
these...
like what we saw where you could shove somebody further away.
No, it uses charges to do an extra 1d. What does it do? Charges. The target takes for every. So it has 10 charges. When you hit with a melee attack, you can choose to expend up to 3 of its charges, and each charge does an extra 1d6 force damage.
That's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
The braces of defense are +2 to AC. And the ring of free action, difficult drain doesn't cost you any movement. And in addition, magic can neither reduce your speed nor cause you to be paralyzed or restrained.
These are some cool things.
I have a question.
Yes.
The braces of defense says getting +2 AC for wearing no armor or using no shield.
Yep.
It's the same thing as unarmored defense that I have. Does that count?
It does the same thing, but it is not the same thing. So it would stack.
Okay. Can I have the bracers?
I mean, that's kind of where my mind went.
I'd have an AC of 20. Yeah.
Michael, you're muted.
Can I just take a peek at all of this? Hang on, I just gotta take a look at the party sheet because I heard what you said, but I am not a multitasking person right now. Hang on.
Do the bracers require attunement?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe they all require attunement.
Right.
I think you said the boots didn't, right?
The boots do not.
Elven kind.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, could you describe the ring again for me?
You can. It's in the party sheet. You can look at it.
Oh, it's in the party sheet. Okay, cool. Never mind.
I'm not sure where the boots went.
I don't see the boots. Somebody grabbed those shits already. Damn.
No, I didn't see them in there when I opened.
That's right.
I did. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
we initially talked about Narook. I think they went to
Sorry,
Narook.
yeah, no, I just took them.
Someone rolls greed while they're playing WoW, don't they?
Sorry. You want to put that back? There.
I mean,
Boom. There you go.
I'm not gonna lie, that ring is pretty, like, not being able to be paralyzed or restrained, like, so like hold person wouldn't work on me while I was in the air, but I've only got the one attunement spot left, and I mean, if somebody else
I would
wants
have
it,
to stop attuning to one of my things. And
what are you attuned to right now? The sword, the boots, and
a ring of warmth. When we were in the cold, it would not let any items of mine be damaged by the cold, and I wouldn't be damaged by cold. It was only when we were. I still am attuned to it. I don't know why. I just wear it.
I think it's
Probably never had anything better to replace it.
Yeah, we're just like, well, you've got an open attunement slot. I mean, just in case we encounter cold damage, it's worth it better than nothing.
Yeah, right, yeah.
They've been just sitting in a bag.
I'm gonna look.
I mean, a quarterstaff is a monk weapon, right?
Yeah, but it's not one of my Kenzai weapons.
But it's just a regular monk weapon.
I mean, it still gives you a +2. It's a +2 weapon that you can expend a bunch of charges.
But I mean, like, yeah, you could have the staff on you and then use it when it was, when the situation called for it.
My AC is 19, so I don't need the bracers. they'd be lovely, but I don't need them. So
I mean, I would. I mean, like, my first thought is to give the bracers to Naruk until we can get him a set of heavy armor.
Don't we have a set of heavy armor, don't we?
Oh my god, we do in the
We have
a
set of +1 plate.
No, we don't.
Where?
Yeah.
How? From who? From when? From why?
That's what
That's for
yeah. The Talos person was wearing, who I got my hammer from.
Cool. So let's put that on the roof right away. Oh my god, that's great.
I'll take
Unless not, Nick.
I'm thinking that anything that was in the party sheet died with the hard drive.
Definitely did, because it's like
I think that's where all the
we had
coinage
a bunch
went.
of other
I
stuff.
think anything that wasn't in somebody's inventory is gone.
Yeah.
What about Zwazos's bag of holding?
Oh, is it in your bag of
in
holding,
there?
Zvazos?
Let's find out here. In bag of holding, I still have the conch shell. I thought I buried that.
Yeah, I don't see it.
No.
I
have.
Fuck. What was his name? Shit, I forgot his name. Blix. Shit, yeah, he's gone too. I don't remember what he had for armor, but I will throw a +1 plate, regular plate.
I believe
because I know you've come across at least one +1 plate. It probably had other effects.
I think it was a special +1 plate that you could just make look however you wanted, because Blix was like
the glamour plate. That's what it was.
Oh, that's perfect for the rip too.
So I was gonna say I got a spell book. I got some spell scrolls. Like, happy if other people want these 4 items. There's 4 of the rest of y'all. I got a spell book, so like I'm defaulting to anyone else who wants to take these items.
Yeah. I guess if nobody else has an argument to make immediate use of it, I have an open spell attunement slot. I'd take the ring of free action until I find something else, and then we can reassess then.
But if no one's claiming the boots too, I'll take back the boots.
Absolutely. I think the boots should definitely go to
I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Anything that Bark is involved in, stealth has gone out the window. So
yeah. So boots of elven kind. Excuse me. So
of course it'll just offset the disadvantage that you'll get from wearing heavy armor, but
No, but I'm proficient in heavy armor.
Right, but heavy armor just by default gives you disadvantage on stealth.
Oh. Okay. Well,
so the boots negate that.
Yeah, right. So there we go.
So you just get a straight roll.
So at least it would definitely. So definitely you should have them then. Because at least then you and Bark, if we ever did need to stealth the whole party, both of you would at least be rolling straight rolls.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take that over. Oh, Nick, I think you accidentally I put the boots of Elvenkind back in the party sheet, and I think you added, so there's like 2 boots.
I noticed that too.
Oh, in the party sheet?
2, it's just 1.
Oh.
Just 1.
There we go.
There you go. So am I taking the Staff of Force then?
I think that's probably is the only thing I can think of is the staff strictly a strength-based weapon?
But it's a monk weapon, so they can use dex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's versatile. So
yeah, versatile means you can use 1 or 2 hands.
Oh
yeah. And I'm just, oh my gosh, it's freaking insane.
All right, I'll take the Staff of Force.
Get more coffee.
The bracers will go to Bark.
And yeah, I think the Ring of Free Action makes sense to go to Zwazos, because that your example of not being hold personed out of the sky. Which we've already seen that happen to one Aarakocra. We don't need to see that happen to our Aarakocra.
That did happen to me in the fight with Rendor. I was lucky enough not to have fallen too far. And then all of the friggin' the Talos pirates, they came after me, and like I got so goddamn lucky that they rolled so shit because all of their hits would have been critical.
I got some cool spells in this spell book, y'all.
I mean, I'm curious.
Okay. Now, Rook, I am giving you the glamored plate armor. There you go.
How come my AC didn't go up?
You haven't attuned yet.
Also, you won't see the AC affected on your character sheet. But if something rolls against you, you'll see that the 20 will work. You'll see the
I just wanted to see the 20. That's all.
Yeah. There's another extension I'm looking at that actually does that. Like it'll increase your max HP and the max HP will glow green, like it'll be a green highlight. So like if your strength is increased by like the belt of giant strength, you'll see that your strength is a different color. It handles all that, but I mean we'll see.
I friggin' like legit. I ran my party through this module. They're level 5, and I ran them through this module, and they got this magical chef's hat that has 7 charges, and once a day can use 5 charges to cast Hero's Feast.
Wow.
Speaking of,
and I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, that can't be right. A free casting of Hero's Feast every day is Hero's Feast every day. Like that's
every day. Every day.
So I nerfed it to once a week or something.
Right.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, but when a magic item has charges that do a spell, they don't require material components. So I guess I could just switch it so we do have to
free Hero's Feast every day.
Right, but like they normally have something written that, like mine I just read that's that Staff of Force, and if you have to roll a 20 when you recharge it, when it's recharging, and
only if you use the last charge on it.
Only if you use
Yep, that's the same reason why Brazos never uses all his charges on his Wand of Magic missiles.
Got it.
Because when you use the last charge, there's a chance it's gone.
I love my Wand of Magic missiles. I love items that don't require attunement.
And I'm missing the charges and stuff like that for Horde Breaker, by the way.
Oh, you are, aren't you? All right, where's...
I don't have like the lightning damage and all that shit still.
Oh shit, where'd that go?
No idea.
This is an interesting thing that's just occurring to me is like if we're in this room and like time's not passing, air quotes, what about our equipment that like recharges the next day, air quotes?
You gotta wait till the next day. Oh, there it is.
Cool.
Oh, I see. You were in combat mode and all your charges were used up. I changed you to standard mode and you can see it. It just has all its charges, but
yeah, I'm supposed to roll a D3 at dawn.
Yes, you are. So let's add a little D3. I don't know. I don't know how to charge. I don't know how to code a recharge.
Wait, my AC went to 21. What?
Does it?
I just rolled a D6, 1 and 2.
Should be 19 plus. Well, no, it should just say 19 in your thing, and then it should be +1 from your cloak that you still have. The cloak of protection.
18 plus 1. 19. Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
Do you have a shield?
No.
No, you're proficient in shields. Well, you are now.
It's not really the right thing. 6.
Does it not just have little check marks like the wand does?
Yeah. And I don't think I can do the die. We'll just have to remember to do that, and then you roll the die and I'll uncheck however many you roll.
Yeah, just have them roll a d6 and, on a 1 or 2.
Exactly.
So far.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. We'll just do that. We'll do that. Okay. Is that actually doing? I don't think so, because I don't. Oh, there it is. Select features. C2. There you go. Ah. Okay. Now we need the booty boots. Okay, and this is
Ace. So 18,
advantage.
19.
What am I doing?
Minus.
Before I rest, I remember one of these notes had something about putting something near the window and it would work. And I start thinking about how the fact we don't get messages anymore. Can I go scour upstairs up in the monastery real quick before long resting?
Yes, I will say that as part of Naruk's reading into that book, he did pick up that messaging type spells can't come into the monastery.
Oh, never mind.
Oh my god.
But what about putting something near the window? And there's, hang on.
I just read something here. Oh my god.
To the temple, but don't be seen. Leave it by the windows and it will do the rest. If this. Can I look at the windows at least? Like go through the windows in the monastery and see what the hell they're talking about?
Yes.
Or do I get?
What are you looking for? I'm sorry.
Sorry, there's for the part of note that was in Sylvan that was burned, and it says, "Go to the temple, but don't be seen. Leave it by the windows, and it will do the rest." Do I get the feeling that they're talking about the temple here, or is that not what they're talking about? If you want to make me roll for it, go ahead. I'll roll.
All right, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I like that. I like
Let's
that.
roll,
All right.
and you can come up with.
Let's do an insight check.
Very nice. I would love to do an insight check.
I also.
Oh, that was almost a 20. Oh, it's 10.
You. I mean, it's still a 10, right? It's still a 10. So
yes, it's still 10.
You feel like there's a connection that you're missing. Like you feel like you should know what it's talking, and like you're thinking about the clues that you got, and you feel like you're missing a connection.
Okay, it's talking about a temple. What temples have we run into? All right, thank you.
You could use your inspiration on that insight check if you want.
I mean, but it could be worse. I could get a 1. Okay. I'll use it.
That's the only way it could be worse.
I know. I'll use it. I'll use my inspiration.
I also read something kind of shitty regarding my plate armor.
Oh no.
Oh.
If you want to hear it.
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
Okay. So it's going to the player's handbook. It says, if the armor table shows strength 13 or strength 15 in the strength column for an armor type, the armor reduces the wearer's speed by 10 feet unless the wearer has a strength score equal to or higher than the listed score. I have 14.
Oh, what?
So I had 15 speed right now. That's cool. Never mind.
I think maybe we should look at that again.
All right, scratch everything. Praise to the DM.
I don't want to deal with that.
I was gonna say that really sucks, but no. The DM is merciful.
Yes. The DM doesn't want to deal with that crap.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to do you want me to, I'll throw you a reroll. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All
right. All right. That's much better. So you spend a little, like, you're missing a connection. You're missing a connection. You're looking at the things and you realize that the little scrap of paper with the Killith on it was this paper was the same paper as that note that talked about the temple and the windows.
So put the Alcolith near the windows and they'll do the rest. Yes?
Yes. So you... Yeah. So you come to the realization that it was the Zentarum that put the Alcolith in the window for Lahama Runtos.
Oh. Justin's face, he's muted. They're muted, but I can
see. Those guys.
Oh. Okay. What? All right. Now, wasn't the Alcolith the only thing keeping Even Death from taking over Lamartus?
No, it was weakening. What?
Yeah, because we killed the Achilleth, and then Even Death was like, you got rid of the Achilleth, and so now I can blah, 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 blah.
Well,
and
no, Even Death
threw us this giant curveball to try and fuck us. And then we did a whole 45-minute long thing of trying to chase the dragon down in midair, and it was
hilarious. Well, I thought that the Achilleth I thought the Ebendeth was in the Achilleth. Didn't he?
No. Michael remembers that correctly.
It was blocking out Ebendeth. But it was also driving.
May have been coincidental. But regardless, the Alcolith incapacitated Lahama Runtos for some time. Think of the destabilization in the region that may have been stopped if she had been active. Like all of the events of Icefire Peak.
Right.
I'm sorry, Nick. Can you repeat what you just said?
Lahama Runtos was a known like protector of the area for a long time.
Right.
And her incapacitation may have directly led or allowed all the events of Icefire forward.
So, like, we have reason to believe that Zentarum, like, intentionally caused, or I guess intentionally allowed Frostbane to force the orcs off the mountain, which started the orcs getting involved in everything, and so on and so forth.
Not so much a direct relation, but
They were just trying to cause trouble.
a destabilization.
Fuck
Like
them.
if
Fuck
you
them
remove
twice.
the protector, it allows a lot to happen. Not that they specifically engineered those events, but they would not have been possible had the protector been in place. And there may be other reasons they specifically did that are not necessarily related to the events of Icefire. But had Lahamaruntos and ancient bronze dragon been alive and well, the young white dragon may not have found it such a fertile ground to annoy people. They caused a lot of shit. Maybe not intentionally, but
They're not behind even death.
Cryo.
you have no reason to believe that.
Yeah, exactly. We have no indication of that.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Asshole.
Cryovane.
Cryovane. Don't think I spelled that right.
You're starting to get the impression that they have their fingers in world politics.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, I'm going to take another bathroom break because I'm pounding down the water.
Okay.
And I think we're ready to.
Yeah, long rest and get
Start
going.
adventuring.
Good God. Okay. I'm gonna get water. What the hell are we up against? My God. Okay, I'll be right back.
Keeps getting bigger than we thought. Oh my God.
I don't like it.
Okay, I'm here.
All right. I'm just going to throw up a ready. Everybody. Just the same one. Okay, there's a new one. Ready, check. All right. Wait for Michael and Justin to come back. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that we're all ready to rest. I'll retcon anything. It's not the case. Rest. All stealth effects deleted on combat reset. Okay. Okay. Must be part of that new stealth tracker thing. That's cool. That's cool. I'm going to get a big map. I will also say, I'm going to create a little item here. Sweet. Map. Oops, don't do that. No, I'll do that. I'm giving you a map. So you can take this map that you found with you. Shows a detailed depiction of northern with many cities, towns, or prominent or prominent. I will go with prominent. Other prominent places. Slash places. Does anybody specifically want the map before I throw it in the break? Midnight Forest can happen.
It is next. It is next. I know I dropped that on you. I did put that in. I thought I had that in my. I thought I sent that to you somewhere.
I don't know. You may have, but that was like, what a perfect name for next. Love that. Love that. It's a great name.
I have a little more in my notes. I think you can access them.
I'll have to pour over those. Like that. Okay. All right. So we are back. You are all long rested. You did spend the night in here, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. One thing that you all noticed while sleeping here was none of you had any dreams.
Oh.
And for most of you, that is different.
How would I have been able to spend like 2 hours copying spells? Is that what we usually say? I'm also noticing this seems like an oversight on my part. Ma'am doesn't have smith's tools in her inventory, which feels like she should have. Would you allow me to have those, Nick? Or I mostly want them for flavor.
for what we talked about her doing. Maybe just a chisel.
Yeah,
Could she just have a chisel?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how about a hammer and chisel?
That's all I need.
You can
Perfect.
do okay, as long as you're not planning on actually smithing something.
Yes.
Okay.
I will have to get my hands on some smith tools though.
Yes.
I don't know why I don't have those. But yeah, okay, great.
All right, fantastic. So you all spend the night here. You do notice that none of you dream. So you're kind of getting the impression that that's one of the things that are warded in this basement area. For reasons you may or may not imagine. But you wake up. There's no sun in the Feywild. And if there were, you wouldn't be able to see it because you're in a basement. But you imagine that it's morning. Feels like morning anyway. And you have the whole world at your fingertips. You know that there's some issues maybe happening at the moment in the other planes of existence. Mostly the material plane and the planet of Faerun in your little corner of the world. And yeah, what are your plans? Where are you headed? Where are you going? How are you getting there?
I think Ma'am has something that she probably did very early in the morning, right as people were waking up. She wouldn't have made a big deal of it. Maybe people may or may not have noticed it as they were waking up, but she kind of just would have sat. Very similar to when she is casting like a ritual spell. But she has out her hammer and chisel, and she lays her hammer in front of her. And she just starts kind of like, ritual like motions over it. And then she just starts kind of talking to it, and she's kind of mumbling to herself, and she says, you were a gift from a very evil being. Recently you were stripped of your magic, and now it has returned. A rebirth of sorts. We have new enemies to face, and also to commemorate those we've already vanquished together. I give you a new name to accompany your new purpose. And you see she traces this like ancient rune onto the surface of it that I think kind of just like blazes with magic. And you hear as she says this word, her voice kind of rumbles as with like the rumbling of when she casts spells. And she says, I dub you Mazindum.
Yeah.
She holds her hammer, and that's it.
Mazindum.
Nick's had a very restless sleep, so I think they're awake and they just listen, but don't really react. They're just laying listening.
And ma'am, you feel more than hear a rumble, kind of a distant rumble, and a gravelly voice. I approve.
Oh, all right.
Only ma'am hears that.
Yes, only ma'am. And you more feel it than hear it.
Excellent. I found something that I thought was very cool as I was looking up like Luxodon language, and I just wanted to stick this in here, as this is probably what it sounds like when Ma'am casts spells and like speaks magically. But it says low rumbling vocals, hard for non-native speakers to follow, partly because it uses subsonic sounds that most humanoids cannot fully hear. When spoken, Luxodon tends to sound slow and plodding, but actually is a very concise language.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when I awake, do I hear like this
Oh.
rumbling now?
You can
Am
understand
I
all.
languages now? I can
Uh,
comprehend all languages.
yeah.
Go ahead. You
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, you don't hear what Ma'am heard afterwards, but
Yeah, but I think in the name, Nyx would understand. They probably don't understand, like, know what language they're
Right.
hearing.
but you know that the translation. Nyx would know the translation.
So you know that this translates as both, meaning like there's almost a dual meaning of divine punishment, but also reverement and protection.
That blows my mind that you just hear words and you know, like translate it. You bypass language and you just go straight to the translation. That's kind of funny.
I love it. I'm gonna be like a translator, but I also have to be
That's
very careful because
incredible.
anybody that can understand me will now know whatever I'm speaking. That's the downside to this.
Any creature we encounter that understands a language, you can talk to.
Yep, but they also understand me. So, and I don't get to decide who. Right, but like it goes both ways. So whatever I speak now, yes, it doesn't. I don't get to choose whether or not they understand me. They just do.
Oh.
Downside.
I guess a little bit of a downside.
Nyx thinking is like,
unless Nick is thinking something, but yeah.
Well, it's like if you don't.
I always thought of that as your choice. Like you learn to touch the key of other minds, so like it's your choice to do so. I've always understood it as your choice.
I never.
They can. It doesn't mean they do.
Okay.
I feel like that's your choice.
So if they can touch my key, they do.
No, if you can touch their key and then they understand anything you say. Like you would choose to allow them to understand you. That's how I would interpret that. I'm open to if you want to do it a different way.
Well, I thought it was like when you pass comprehend languages, like during the duration of that.
Well, it's like perhaps a way of interpreting it is that if Nyx touches the mind of another creature, or like touches the key of another creature in order to understand what they're saying, then it does go both ways. So like if we're trying to get what somebody's saying,
you can't understand them without them also understanding you. But you still would choose. Other people around wouldn't know necessarily what you're saying until you touch their mind. I almost like it's almost psychic, almost. Like it feels like it's almost a psychic ability where you choose to touch their mind and gain the ability to converse with them, whether you speak the same language or not. Sound good?
Okay. I didn't realize I was unmuted, and I thought I was muted, and it did. Anyway, I pressed the button way too many times. It sounds good. I always took it as like the opposite, though. Like I didn't have a choice, but that makes way more sense. That you have to like tap into somebody,
intentionally touch them,
and
unless Nyx is too scatterbrained for that, and they're just broadcasting all the time.
I think there could be. Well, no, I feel
it'd be
like
a fun flavor thing. It might get you into trouble sometimes, but.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I have to be careful, and if I'm scatterbrained.
So something I'm just realizing as I happen to have my inventory popped up for when I put the ring into my inventory is I have a scroll of Chaos Bolt, a scroll of Fireball, and a scroll of Snylock Snowstorm.
Yes, Dwazos is where things go to be forgotten.
Yes. So, like, Vazos might be like, oh, hey, while I'm looking at stuff, ma'am, do you want these to copy them?
While I'm digging through my bag of holding, oh, what is this? Oh, it's a scroll. Oh, cool. What is? Oh, look, another scroll.
My book of elvish idioms.
You
Yep.
see, ma'am does not show a lot of interest in like material stuff. Like she just tossed the money and gems to Nyx. But when you like hold up scrolls, like you just see her eyes lock on as she's like also like furiously scribbling scrolls into her book. She's like, "Did you say scrolls? I mean, if you're not going to use them, I would, yeah, sure."
Well, I've had them in my bag for I don't even know how long, and probably could have used them a couple times, but I forgot. So don't worry, you copy them down. I'll take them back afterwards so I can have them to forget about later. But
Well, part of the copying process kind of destroys them, so just be
then-
forewarned.
I can't give them back.
hey, whatever. Just
This one's
If I
weird.
use it-
I don't like this one. She gives you back Chaos Bolt because I don't think I can learn that one.
I mean, you can learn any spell that's on a scroll, right? Oh no, because it's not a
It
wizard.
has to be a wizard. Yeah, I think Chaos Bolt is one of those weird, like solely sorcerer spells.
I think it used to be, but didn't.
Oh, did they change it?
I want to say that they did recently. I want to say that you said. I think you were the one who told me that Chaos Bolt is no longer a sorcerer exclusive
Maybe.
spell as of Tasha's Cauldron. But I don't know.
Oh, yeah, here it is. All right. But, yeah, no, on second thought, why don't I at least? I'll
Yeah,
at
sure,
least,
great,
ponder. What were those scrolls?
They were. Well, I'll just transfer them to the party sheet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you can transfer them to you. Oh, wait.
Playing a wizard is way too much fun.
I didn't want to do that anyway. I don't. Oh, I still have the potion of vitality in here too. I'm gonna have to that because I drank that hoping it would do something.
Also, just as a heads up, Nick, I took a different spell instead of teleportation circle since I got the scroll, and we'll just learn it from that.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay.
Should if we have two scrolls of teleportation circle, should I hang on to one of those or Narug? For the sake of
Yeah,
Can you cast them?
I know it's a sorcerer spell. I don't know about
It is, okay.
bard,
it's both.
but yeah, I'll give you the
That's
other.
it? Okay, cool.
Oh, I don't know if I actually got those in my inventory.
Oh, probably not. I don't think I actually created them. So you used one to copy into your spell book.
I'm still working on it.
Okay. So I'm just saying there would only be one scroll left.
Yes. Yep.
So a bard can use a scroll.
If it's a spell that you can cast.
Wait a minute. Can't any player character use a spell scroll?
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
If the spell is on your class's spell list, you can read the scroll and cast its spell without providing any material components. Otherwise, the scroll is unintelligible.
Does it? But it also without using a spell slot.
Yeah. That's the whole point of the scroll is you're not using a spell slot. And you don't have to have it on your known spell list. It just has to be on your class list. If it's higher than a spell you can cast, then you have to do an ability check to cast it.
Oh, there's still a chance you could cast it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. 10 plus the spell's level is the DC for casting it.
Is it an Arcana check specifically?
Ability check using your spell casting ability. So it'd basically just be your proficiency bonus plus your whatever your spellcasting ability bonus is, right?
I don't think it would. I don't think it would have your proficiency.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Just the ability check.
But a bard would apply jack of all trades.
That is true. Yeah.
Fucking bards, man.
Scroll of teleportation circle. The spell is on the bard and sorcerer spell list. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think we already figured that out. Okay, so who wants it?
I think that of the two of us, Mario is the one who's more leaning towards what's the word I'm looking for? Utility applications of magic.
And
Not
possibly
knowing
more
things
likely to remember it.
Cheshire Cake Hall.
All right, so he's got that.
I'll take it, sure.
You've got the gold, you got the key and the spell book. Are we forgetting anything? Or something else?
But I just want to clarify.
Yep.
So a bard doesn't know Chaos Bolt. It's only a sorcerer.
I think sorcerer and apparently now wizard.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to use the scroll.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't use the chaos.
Use that. So which scroll am I taking?
You're taking the scroll of
teleportation circle. Yeah, that's in that. I believe that's in your inventory now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Didn't see it in the party sheet. Okay.
The teleportation circle says that you can spend a minute studying another teleportation circle to commit its runes to memory.
Yes, you can.
Would you allow me to commit these runes to memory even though I don't know the spell fully yet? Or could I take them down as notes to memorize later?
Well,
yeah, you did the same thing from Vaarnock. He gave you the
Harper
room layouts for the other places. Yeah, so you can copy them down. You'd have to know the spell in order to cast.
Okay,
them.
cool.
But yes, you can copy these down so you can return here.
Great.
But I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Nick. I was confused. I thought you had said that the runes had been like scratched out as though
the runes that were on the walls. So the innate runes of the runes that were created for this room were scratched out to allow the teleportation circle to work in that spot.
I love it.
Yep.
Are the runes the same on the top and the bottom circle?
There are no runes up top.
Oh, okay.
But you get the impression that while the runes were still there, the magic didn't work for whatever reason. Like you get the impression that like the magic takes you
like Vaarnock's teleportation circle or whatever they made under the house next door, and Vaarnock's runes stopped it from happening.
That's what they were figuring out. Was that they had to scratch out the runes on his roof to get it to work.
Yep.
Full circle.
Yeah, very full circle.
That's awesome.
So Nyx has been pondering this like in their dreamless sleep, and can't really figure out what the Zentarum. I made the notes.
What are you trying to figure out? What is it that what's on your mind? What is Nyx pondering?
How the Zentarum tied into this war. Like they're supplying Mudford and Port Last, but those fell.
What did they do? They sent supplies to Womford, right? Or where did? Now I don't remember what.
But they're redirecting troops to Port Last and Mirabar.
Okay.
But those are the places that are getting attacked or had giants.
So
are they in line with the giants?
You don't know the timing. So you're not sure whether or not they sent troops before Port Last was taken or after. You haven't heard anything about Mirabar. You're not exactly sure why they would have sent troops to Mirabar. Like you haven't heard anything about that. It's up north. It's near Port Last. It's definitely way up there. But you don't have any reason. You don't know necessarily the reason why they would have sent troops to Mirabar.
There was the guy that we called Google who was talking about. He talked about Wumford.
Yes.
He talked about.
Yeah, you've heard of Wumford twice now. The first time was Agatha, who told you that hill giants are attacking. The second time you heard of Wurmford was in Everland. One of the Harpers mentioned, because you had said that you had mentioned Wurmford to him, and he.
Yes, we have heard of Mirabar. Thunderbar is the sister city to Mirabar. Yeah. And people were feeling abandoned because they were being attacked.
I took those notes.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sundabar was devastated by orcs, and the Lord's Alliance didn't help them. And so Mirabar has since removed their affiliation with the Lord's Alliance. If I have that right. I think I have that right. World building is hard.
Yeah. Red Larch, Belliard, Wumford, Sumber Hills, the Hill Giants.
Yeah.
I know we talked about Mirabar before. Maybe that's.
I'm not sure if you caught this. You didn't ask about it at the time, but one of the Harpers, when you mentioned that Wurmford was being hit, he did say good riddance.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't think to ask why at the time.
Huh.
Good riddance?
Yes.
Is Wumford.
You could, I mean, ostensibly you're about to meet back up with these Harpers again. So,
Okay. Yeah.
Now that Wurmford is, front in your thoughts, maybe you can ask him about that. See.
Let's ask the Harpers. Mirabar. Wumford. There was another town, Port Last. Are these places that hold their alliance?
Mirabar did. They used to be part of the Lord's Alliance, but they felt abandoned. I forget who told you this. I think it was actually the Harpers.
I think it was the Harpers because Sunderbar felt abandoned, and so Mirabar is his sister city.
Yeah. Sunderbar was sacked by orcs.
Yeah.
And everyone felt like they were part of the Lord's Alliance. The Lord's Alliance should have been there, should have helped them, but didn't. And that's why Mirabar pulled their allegiance from Lord's Alliance.
Nix is back with the red strings. Everybody trying to make connections. I think we all assumed when they said to Wumford, like, good riddance, they said something about it being filled with hill giants anyway, or something.
Something. I don't remember if they actually said anything.
And then Port Last. Okay.
When you find out why, it will make sense. Well, yeah, I mean, not all, but, that'll make a little bit of sense.
And the last thing that we had that we don't have any answers to is that piece of paper, and we don't really know when it was made. But it says we already know SK can something with this ending can hold it. Get it in blank. North of Guntling Grim. Take it to Iron Slag. What?
Nothing.
We already know it can hold it. Get it north of Guntling Grim. Steal and take it to Iron Slag. Don't be late. As far as what we can do.
Yep, as far as what you can see, unfortunately, there's pieces of the paper that are just burned away. Justin?
I just had a thought.
Might be a good thought.
Would you like to share with the group, Justin?
I don't want to
Would
give
mending work on something like this?
I don't think the text would come back with it.
Him's gonna be like, these Wazos. You wanna try casting that mending spell, on them their papers?
I mean, let's find out.
I believe you've tried that on a scroll, and it doesn't bring the magic back.
What does it bring the text?
So you cast mending, and you watch as the pieces fill in, and the ink comes back.
Oh
my God, what's going to happen?
You read the rest of this note, and you get the full text from it. Like, it doesn't bring the entire sheet back together, but the scrap that you have, it fills in all the little pieces, and it now says
the tears and such.
Yeah.
I mean, does the it that the iron flask can hold, is that the ruin stone? It's the first thing I thought of.
I will steal the Titan, and we will take it to Iron Slag together. Don't be late.
So a Titan. So perhaps the iron flask is a word they have some kind of thing to contain some kind of creature that they mean to unleash? Some kind of creature they would call a Titan? I would think that.
This was in Sylvan?
No, the other one was in Sylvan.
No, this is in Dwarven.
The temple, don't be seen. Yeah, this is in Dwarven.
Yep.
Oh, I have the wand! I have the little chime thing that can turn Dwarven into common.
Not that you need it anymore. Now that you can read all languages.
Well, I don't think I can read all languages.
No,
it's German language. I thought.
Oh, it's spoken only?
I thought so.
Oh,
Yes,
tongue.
that's
okay.
Yeah, tongue. So
You're
that's
right.
why I take out I have the little chime thing that was given to me by the dwarves. Hang on, I need to make sure there's something. Fork of Runes, I think it's called. An old and chipped tuning fork is a relic of ancient Dwarven times, tuned to the frequencies of Dwarven magic. It can reveal the meaning of Dwarven runes when struck and placed above the runes. Does that make...
Yeah.
Sure.
It totally works for Dwarven script as well. Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'll just do the little ting.
Yep. And like when you strike the fork, like you see the writing literally like wobbling and like moving, and like the writ itself like changes into words that you can read. And nobody else sees this, just you.
She can tell us what
Oh,
she reads, right?
yeah,
But you can read it out loud.
yeah. We already know the Iron Flask can hold it. Get it and meet us north of Gauntlet Grim. I will steal the Titan and we'll take it to Iron Slag together. Don't be late.
So, should that influence where we're heading first here?
Well, I think we need to get to someplace where we can share this information. But
Vaarnock
don't
did
even
tell us they were held up in where
Waterdeep.
Water. I thought they said never went to.
We don't have any idea where this
They're in
what this iron slag is.
They're in Neverwinter, not Waterdeep.
Everland.
Oh,
Everland?
They're in Everland, but they're going to meet you at the grandfather tree. They're going to be waiting for you at the grandfather tree when you get out of the
I
thing.
thought Neverwinter was their last line of defense, so they're on the run now?
They did say that Neverwinter is holding, and most of the Lord's Alliance is going through Neverwinter, but the Harpers are holding up in Everland in that invisible tower that looks like just a regular house.
Yeah.
That's their base of operations. That's where Vaarnock and Crowlin.
So should we just go to the Everland Tower? We have those runes,
Thought so.
right?
I mean,
Yes, you
I
do.
think that's
Well, we
one
did-
of the ones I have.
we did say that we'd meet Vaarnock, or we'd meet Vaarnock's people at the Evertree. Like,
I think that's when we thought we were going to have to go back through the
The
portal. Our fastest way back now is to use this teleportation circle.
Are you
Let's
able
do
to
it.
cast message or sending?
I'm not able to now.
No, because I think this area you can't like
Do any of
So
you
assuming-
have the spell sending?
yeah,
or
Mario,
message?
do you know something?
Oh, me? No.
Yeah, I know. I don't know sending.
Sending or
Again,
message?
it doesn't do damage, so
Yeah, so you're all totally relying on him casting it to you and then you replying. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, very good. Never mind.
well, let's just that. So we know where that's Vaarnock. We know that's where Vaarnock is. So let's just go there. Vaarnock can contact the people
Then
who
we're
are
gonna
at
meet
the
at-
Evertree waiting for us.
Yeah. The last they knew that we had to go out the tree, but we've been
Yeah, I
within
mean-
the confines now. So
Well,
yeah,
he
let's
said he said he was sending people to the tree to meet us. So we'll
okay, let's
just
go to Everland
just-
and
get to him, and
Yeah,
then he
I
can
think
call those people back.
Yeah.
Go,
we need to figure out sending. We need to figure out a sending thing.
man, do your thing.
so we should be able to use this teleportation circle to go to a place we know the runes of, right? Since this one
I
is
don't think
You can like draw with chalk over this circle.
Mhm.
Like you can do your own runes and cast your own teleportation
Yeah.
circle to a place you know. Or this
Then
one can
the-
receive.
right.
is it that, but one can just cast teleportation circle from anywhere.
Well, you have to draw out the teleportation circle. Like when you
Yeah.
cast the spell, you're essentially drawing the circle. And that
So-
circle has to go to a circle that's been created. You're basically
So if
matching the
we're-
runes to go to those two
Yeah.
places. Yes.
So if we are casting teleportation circle from an already existing established independent teleportation circle, what does that negate the like material components needed for it? Is that the difference?
If this one and another one have the same runes, so they're locked together, then you can cast it without the material opponents necessary. So this one either would connect directly to some other one, which you don't know if it does or where that might be, or you would just use it to land here, and other people would be able to cast it here, or like you draw over it to go somewhere else. Or to your point, Michael, you can just get out of this room and go cast it anywhere you want.
So what does it cost to do it?
It's like a component, like it's chalk or something like that, right? In time, like, does it have material components?
My understanding is like once it's there, it can just be used. Like you're not casting the spell again. Like somebody cast it here for every day for a year for it to exist here.
Then
right?
It's permanent. Yeah, then it's permanent.
Yeah, but I think that means that people can use teleportation circle to get to this, but like I don't know if it can be used to to travel from.
That's what we did to travel from like Neverwinter, though. We used the Harpers' established teleportation circles to go to other established teleportation circles.
Okay, cool. That's good.
If they have the same rune layout, they're basically the same circle, and they go in between each other.
They're like a Stargate.
Otherwise, you have to draw a specific circle wherever it is, and then you go there.
So am I able to tell looking at this one if this is just one that can, you can write in your own destination, or does this seem to be tied to a specific place?
I don't think you can tell that just by looking at it, because it's either that it also exists exactly like this somewhere else, or it doesn't.
Okay.
You would know
go
that
on an adventure.
if you were to cast this circle, when you cast it, your intent would either be here or another one of those places. But if you were to simply cast the spell right now in this circle, you'd find out if it goes anywhere else.
Okay. So man will, I guess, just say, so we can take our chances here and maybe go to wherever this is connected to, or we might be able to go to where we want to, or we can head outside and use that other scroll to be sure we're going where we want to.
And you know that you can cast a circle going anywhere you want to in this circle. Like you can draw over the runes and not use the runes that are there.
Oh, okay.
But you're using the circle that's been carved out of the room's runes in order to cast it within this room. If you wanted to cast it in this room, you can, using that circle that was, chipped out of the room's wardings.
Okay, but and we're still using a scroll for that. Right?
Or your spell. You now know it, so you can cast it as well. So
I haven't fully learned it. Yeah.
Okay. If you haven't learned it yet, then no, you can't cast it. And you would have to have the material components yourself. So you would have to have the chalks and the gems, and which I'm guessing you don't, because I thought
the scroll negated.
The scroll, yes. Right. If you're using the scroll, you don't need the material components.
All right. So I think let's be safe, gang. Let's use that extra scroll. We can use it right here, and we'll just head on over to Ever. How's that sound?
It sounds good to me.
Kind of wanted to see what this one attached to.
Well, I do have its runes written down, so we can explore that at a later date when things are not so tense.
That would be interesting. Assuming it goes somewhere.
I have the only scroll, right?
Would it go to the Shadowfell? Are we traveling between planes? We're traveling between planes.
Don't know. Could go anywhere.
Right.
So Mario, we'd have to use Naruk's scroll because I'm copying mine.
Here goes nothing. Never read one of these before. So
all right, fantastic. So
Mim will have like out her notebook, be like pointing out the runes for Everlyn. Like, yeah, okay, now put that one there. Yep,
All right,
yep,
let's
that,
see.
that's where we're going.
Okay. Boom shakalaka boom boom. Here we go.
I don't know why I left it. Okay. All right. So you cast a spell, and you get that wonderful experience where you kind of turn into nothingness and stretch out into the universe, and then get the sensation of stars and stuff flying by as you travel through the plains.
Can you only
and
use
you
scrolls
arrive.
once?
What's that?
Can you only use scrolls once?
Yes. Yeah. Once you use it, it's consumed.
Okay.
Yep. So it disappears. The spell activates, and you fly off into the sky. And almost instantly, you're standing in a room that you recognize, a nice wood-paneled room with a number of teleportation circles laid out. No, it's a single one on the floor that can be rotated. You remember that. And you see in front of you the door that you know leads into the information gathering center of the Harpers and
Before
everybody.
anybody says anything, Nyx bursts out the door, just like.
And you see people like, holy fuck! Oh my god! Like everyone's on edge as soon as you see people's faces. Like there is stress in this room.
Nyx's hackles are raised. Vaarnock, where's Vaarnock? And I point to somebody. I don't know who they are. Get me Vaarnock.
Hang on. Okay, all right. And you see, a guy that you recognize, an elf, immediately sees you and is like, oh, he's upstairs. Hang on. And you see him run to the stairwell, and a few moments later, you hear, sounds of boots coming down the stairwell. And the elf comes around the corner first, and then followed by him is Vaarnock, and he looks haggard. He's got bags under his eyes.
I run up and scoop.
Yeah, he sees you immediately. Like you just see some like tension just like drop, and he's just like.
I run and I scoop him up, and it's like one of those scenes where I'm just hugging him like, oh my
god. Welcome back. Could you put me down, please?
Put him down carefully because he seems a little.
It is good to see you.
Shit, Zwazzos offers a curt nod.
What's that?
I said Zwazzos offers a curt nod.
He kind of smiles and nods at you as well. Zwazzos. Ma'am, Naruk. You see his eyes travel up as he looks at Bark.
Bark.
Hi, I'm Vaarnock.
This is Bark.
Hey, you're welcome. Awesome. All right. But you're a big boy. Holy shit. Yeah, we need to talk.
Yes, we do about a lot of things, and
upstairs. Come on. Let's.
And Nyx just.
Yep.
After.
And you go upstairs to the first floor. Up to the.
Yeah, I know there was
the fourth floor. Up to the fifth floor. So right. So yeah. Which one of you is the Harper? Ma'am, you know that you're not really allowed on this floor. Like this is for bright candles only. Like you're not allowed on this floor. As you pass the fifth floor, you look because it's basically like they're all square rooms, and the stairs are on either side of the room, so they're directly across from each other. So as you get to one floor and walk across to the stairs, you basically see the entire floor to your left as you go by, minus any interdimensional spaces that may exist. But as you're walking across the fifth floor, because Vaarnock just walks straight to the next stairwell and you're heading up, you just kind of look over and you just see armor, weapons, like it's basically their armory. And then you see their back wall is like, you can tell that it's a door, but it looks like silk almost. but it's got a shimmer to it that you recognize as like a magical barrier. And then you go up to the 6th floor, and as soon as you walk out, like different than the other rooms, this one is huge. Hey, Logan.
Hello.
Can't hear you, but hi.
Hi.
This room is different. This room is huge. As you enter the 6th floor, it's just this monstrous chamber that has different like sets of tables and chairs set up in different places. And immediately you see Crowan. He's at one of the tables. It's a very large table. And what you recognize from where you are that he's looking at a map.
See, we didn't take any of the students with us.
Not this time, but you can get there anytime you want. You've got a teleportation circle that goes there, so you can visit them anytime you want.
I knew there was something we were forgetting, but we didn't tell.
Fine. They're just going to go down and hope to find you, and you're going to be gone, and it's fine.
Oh, shit. I was
busy.
like, let's have battle. And then it's like, bye.
Right. In a few hours' time, Velastro and all the students are like, they're all ready to go. They're like, let's fight the giants. Where'd they go? They're waiting for you to come back and get them. They'll be prepared. So you arrive into this room, and it looks like it's like a war room. Like it's set up. There's a couple maps on the walls, but you see Crowan poring over a table. He looks basically the same as Vaarnock, and you kind of see him look over at you, and he does the same thing, a smile on his face when he sees you. I'm so happy to see you're alive.
Sorry, he was just sitting at the table.
Yeah, he's just looking down at like maps at the table, and he looks up and he sees you. I'm very happy you're alive.
Who? Sorry, I didn't hear the name.
Oh, Crowan, the leader of the Harpers.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yep. We need to catch you up with what's happening.
Same here.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. Vaarnock has relayed some information to you, I think. Is Michael, are you listening?
I 100% am.
Okay, very good. Just wanted to make sure. All right. So he's, I know. He looks at Vaarnock. He says, I think Vaarnock filled you in on some of the information. And he's looking down, and you see it's almost the same copy of the map, but there are different, placeholders. There's different town names. There's different things on the map. And he looks down and he looks up at you, and he just says, it happened fast. Vandalin was gone before we even knew that there was a war happening. Lylan was the same night. But the destruction was limited to just a few places. Your house was completely destroyed. That was their first target. Then they toppled the tower and the entire town hall area. They seemed to leave most of the residential homes alone, but hit all the businesses, all the stores. They destroyed the docks.
God. So it's intentional.
Yeah, we think they were after you. We think this was a targeted strike at you.
How long ago was this?
This was a week and a half ago. So about 15 days ago. About, what was it, six or 7 days after you left. After we assumed you were leaving. We think you left that day, after you left the tower here. It was about 6 days after that they came in the night. That there were Vandalin they completely destroyed. Vaarnock, do you have the names of the few that got out? And Vaarnock says yes. And he looks at you all and he says, there were only 3 that made it out. It was, do I have it here? I wrote it down. Where did I write that down? Here here's okay. It was Elmar Barthen from Barthen's Trading Post. Toblin Stonehill made it out from the Stonehill Inn. He's not in a good place though. His family didn't make it out. And Halia Thornton, the proprietor at the arms shop there. They were the only three that made it out. Halia didn't see much. Elmar saw lightning strikes, so we think it was the storm giants. We don't know how they got there. We don't know how they just suddenly appeared in Phandalin. It was the middle of the night. Half the places in town were destroyed before people even started waking up.
Damn.
Those three knew to head south. They went straight to Axholm. From what we hear, the giants seem to have tried to get into Axholm, but they didn't spend much time there. They couldn't force their way in. But based on what the people of Lyland had said, it sounds like they went immediately to Lyland, and it didn't take them long to get there. So we're not sure exactly how they traveled, but they got to Lyland quickly. They landed basically on your house. They said that the giants just appeared inside the town walls. They have no idea how they could simply appear there, but your house was destroyed, and before the soldiers could even get out, the tower was destroyed. Half of the garrison went with it. Cyrano's sonnet was destroyed. The town hall, the docks, the fisherman's wharf, all the businesses seemed to be destroyed. And then after that, not days afterwards, we started getting reports of attacks. Let's see. It was the notes all over the place. Come on. The first reports we started getting were from Port Last. The frost giants came in via boats, and it was fast. It was over pretty quickly. We got a few messages. The first few messages were just simply we're under attack, giants coming in. The second wave of messages we got, maybe 20 minutes later, were that the port was completely taken over. The defenses were destroyed. They came in fast and hard. And then we had one agent that seemed to be able to get out of Port Last. He was the only one we've gotten messages from since. And he went immediately to Neverwinter. There have been a few attacks on the walls at Neverwinter, but for the most part, they're garrisoned well. They have a few magic users there. The Lord's Alliance, somehow they got reinforcements very quickly. So either they had their own messengers from Port Last and immediately had people, teleported in, or I don't know. I doubt anybody was ready for this, but when the giants showed up at their walls, they repelled them. What else? Fuck, where did I write that shit down? Don't know where I wrote this stuff down. Found it. Okay. All right. Okay. What else? Let's see. Okay. The frost giants have also taken to stopping trade. So they have prevented all merchant ships from traveling past Port Last. So Luskin, 10 towns, they're completely cut off from the south. We've been able to send some supplies from Mirabar, But for the most part, they're kind of on their own. We're not sure how much we can help them. They've also started raiding. The frost giants are raiding up and down the coast, and they're not just destroying the merchant ships; they're taking what's on the ships. Our first reports about frost giants were just a day later. They hit Long Saddle and Tribor almost in the same day. Our agents seem to think that they weren't there to take over. They arrived, they sacked the defenses, and from what our agents were able to tell us, it seemed they dug something out of the ground and left. There wasn't even much looting, but in both cases, our agents said that they dug something out of the ground, took it, and left.
Where was this?
This was Tribor and Longsaddle. We have since had similar reports from Nesme and Alliston's Hold. Same thing. They come in, they wipe out any resistance, and then they go to a very specific spot. One agent said that they seemed to have some type of a locating device. They went right to a specific spot, dug a hole, pulled something out of the hole, and left. We've had two separate reports that the stone giants attacked Loudwater. In both cases, it seemed to be a raid. They took building supplies and they took food, mostly cattle. But they didn't seem interested so much in a fight as they did in stealing. They did this twice.
Which towns?
Loudwater in the south. And in both cases, they seemed to avoid fighting as much as possible. They simply went right for what they were after, mostly building supplies. Seemed to take any food that was in their path, got in and got out. They didn't seem there necessarily for a fight. They definitely weren't trying to sack the town. Haven't had any reports yet from Cloud Giants or the Storm Giants, outside of the Storm Giants' initial assault on Phandalin and Lylan. We don't know where they're operating out of. And the Cloud Giants, we've seen two floating fortresses. I suppose it could be the same one. If so, it's moving really fast. One was seen floating near Whitebridge, and another one was seen near Calling Horns. They didn't, as far as our agents are aware, they haven't attacked anywhere yet. Or if it's the same one, like I said, it's moving fast. It can cover a lot of distance in only a day.
We heard of Cloud Giant Fortress above the Troll Moors.
The Troll Moors, okay. That's near Calling Horns. That would make sense.
Fire giants are searching for Vaarnock.
Which giants were digging things up?
The fire giants. Something about
What
was that word?
Varmindad.
If I say that out loud, do I understand what it means?
Oh.
Ooh.
Do I understand what it means?
I don't think Ma'am fully understood it, but
I know,
even
but you
speaking giant, but
yes. So,
but I could comprehend what it means, and I heard ma'am and knew what it meant.
yeah.
Yes. So you get the rough translation of Titan of Death.
The Titan!
Titan
Is
of
that the
Death.
Titan of
No.
Death?
Titan.
Titan of Death, does that mean anything to ma'am?
So you immediately like when he hears the word Vonendad, and you seem to have this little revelation. He does turn to Vaarnock and get me Billin. I want to know what he knows about the Vonendad. And you remember that's the elf that initially saw you when you just came in, and you remember
we affectionately named him Google.
Oh, that's your
Yes.
Google. Yes, that's Google. Vaarnock heads off real quick, running really. And he comes back just a second later with Billin in tow, Mr. Google. And he's there's something related to the giants. I can answer.
Vaughn and Dodd, Titan of Death. The fire giants are digging pieces.
Yes.
What do you
the
know?
Von and Dodd? What about the Von and Dodd?
The fire giants are digging pieces of it up.
That's not good. No, that's not. The Von and Dodd was the giant mechanical titan they built to fight the giants back in the original giant. It's how they eventually won over the dragons. That's an ancient. I thought that. I mean, that's supposed to be just ancient stories.
Okay, so I put down the piece of paper that we mended together, and I'm like, okay, so what does the iron flask can hold it, get it and meet us north of Grim, steal the Titan, and take it to Iron Slag.
Crowan's face goes white when he hears that and sees that. They can't. He looks at Vaarnock. They can't. The Dawn Titan is at Gauntlgrim. It's what powers their forges. Iron Slag is the fortress of the fire giants. They're going to steal the Dawn Titan and take it to Irons?
Oh, no. This is from the Zentarum.
The Zentarum are going to steal the Dawn Titan. Wait, no.
What's the Dawn Titan?
Are they working with the fire giants?
Well, we're piecing that together. There seems to be a lot of coincidental things happening all at once.
A lot of info coming in at once. There's a lot of
the Iron Flask.
The Iron Flask.
He looks at Vaarnock and Billin. Do either of you know anything about an Iron Flask? And they're both like, no. I need to know more. Billins, get the researchers on it. Find out anything you can about the Iron Flask. Yeah, yes, sir. I'll get right on that. Okay, bye. And you see him like take off. And Crowan is like, I don't know if you understand. The Dawn Titan is one of the original titans of the world. It's been trapped in the forges of Gauntlgrim for millennia.
Oh shit!
It could destroy the entire continent.
Oh shit!
What?
I want to eat it.
It does sound tasty.
I love Vark so much.
Yeah, Vark's cool, man.
What could they possibly do? How do you even steal something like that?
I wouldn't have thought it was possible, but they seem to think this Iron Flask can hold it.
Well,
all right, so where do we need to go?
Gauntlgrim. You have to stop them.
We don't even know when
Brunner Battlehammer runs Gauntlgrim now. He can help you.
I just leave the piece of paper with him and I say, I don't know when this happened though. We were in the Feywild. All of these things are so disorienting, and the time was different than we ever thought it would be. We thought we had time in the Feywild to figure this out what the Zentarum were doing, and it went faster out here than it was supposed to.
So they could already have it. It could already be gone.
We need to get in contact with people and find out before we even waste our time trying to get there. We probably need to block their path somehow. But if they are appearing and reappearing, do the Zentarum have access to this type of arcane or something that could do that?
I mean, they have wizards. If that's what they're doing.
I look at ma'am. Was the book related, or was it just a book from a different wizard that we found?
The spell book? No, not really. It was from the wizard who made the wards in the room, but I don't think it has anything to do with this.
I have some books in my backpack that I took from the basement monastery. If you want
I
to flip
mean, they
through
were
them.
able to get blink dogs. They were able to get all these different creatures from the Shadowfell.
They're working with the Shadowfell. We got to worry about that now too.
I'm sorry,
what?
I'm dropping so much on you.
Okay. This is the Zentarum, right?
I was sent into the monastery to find what the Zentarum were doing, because we figured out,
right, I remember,
from that there was things happening and people were taking over that weren't supposed to be taking over. So we went in to find out how the Zentarum even got infected in the first place, and we found the faceless one. He's dead, unfortunately.
That's good. We'll take that.
I mean, he's dead. Unfortunately. I say unfortunately as ma'am says fortunately. And I'm just like, so we found the faceless one, and he was the one that was making all of these demands. And then I started thinking about it, and I think I scooped everything up from the table, didn't I? The map and all the other like military things.
Yeah, I'll say.
So I start scrambling in, and I start pulling out military orders, and I just start spreading them out with the other military things that we have on the table.
And like Crowin's like, this is perfect. This is amazing. Okay, so they've sent troops to Port Last. Do we know if that was before or after the invasion? Or are they?
We don't know.
I guess we don't know whether they were helping or hindering the giants. Okay. Mirabar. They've sent troops to Mirabar. That's not good. Oh, we're going to have to let them know. Okay. So what would they be doing in Mirabar? Oh, in Wormford. Yeah, of course they would send supplies to Wormford.
What's the deal with Wormford?
That's a known Zentarum town. That's... Oh. They've owned that town for a long time. It's full of thieves and cutthroats, and it's nobody reputable ever goes there. We don't have agents there.
Do you know how Wormford has fared?
No.
Do you have any idea?
We have no idea. We don't have agents there. That's not. They sniff our agents out easily. We're not on their level as far as.
Be a potential clue to help us figure out if they're in leagues.
It's very true. If there's something you can gather in Wormford, I would love any intel you can have from that place. But I mean, you're kind of recognizable.
That's fair.
Okay.
Especially now that we killed their faceless one.
Yeah. Cheers to that. And he lifts up a cup
the
of
wizard
coffee and just like cheers it at you.
Yeah.
Do any of the wizards here know a way that we could be less recognizable?
Well, sure. I mean, you can disguise self spell. Do any of you know that? Well, I suppose that works for yourself, but
actually, ma'am holds up the Arissy's spell book and says, I got something in here that might help with that.
Are you able to?
But I would need some time. I prioritized. It takes time to put these things into my spell book.
I just put my hands. I put my hands up, and I'm like, "It's okay. It's okay. It's okay." It just piqued my curiosity.
Yeah, no, there's something that I could use eventually, I think.
The face that Nick is making.
So
I didn't know that was there.
Listen, so like
That's pretty awesome.
you can read the spell book, and the book has spells in it that you don't necessarily know well enough to be able to cast, but you can tell from the book what they do.
Because I identified the book, I believe.
Yeah. So like you know what spells the book has.
Yes.
And you know what they do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nick?
I would say because it's a wizard's personal spell book, he has titled the spells in his spell book. So you can read the title and know what spell it is, even if you don't know the spell.
So I guess my question is, do we have what we need you know, narratively for ma'am to maybe suggest some kind of spell that one of the wizards here might know.
I mean, I'm even curious.
Yeah. What are you angling at?
I mean, I happen to be aware of a spell called seeming,
Right.
which
Okay.
can affect
There you go.
multiple
That's the
people.
There you
spell.
go.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's,
So,
that's
like,
a spell in a spell book.
Yeah.
but Dwazos doesn't know that spell, and Dwazos isn't aware of it, so he can't suggest it outwardly to the people there.
Right,
And say,
but-
somebody know seeming?
Yeah. But ma'am just said she thinks she has something that can help with that.
Yeah. But my question is I don't know that us doing that recon is going to even be the best use of our time. That was really just a
Right,
thought
right,
that like if we had any way to just see if Womford was, sacked. But I think we're much better suited going to the front lines and kicking some giant ass.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yep.
And I'll try to be a little clear with it. This is open world. This is like I am throwing scattershot quests at you guys all the time. So I don't feel like because I mentioned something that it's a huge plot point that absolutely, if you go there, I'll make it a huge plot point and something major will happen. But I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to lead you in any specific place.
We don't know how long Gauntling Grim. Don't know if that will be there.
Yeah.
Correct. That's
So
correct.
Well,
if
then,
we
yeah,
could
we
find out. So if we could find out if it's even there, we could probably cut them off if we have enough time.
I mean,
Is there a teleportation circle there?
Crowan says there's one in Mirabar. We've got one going to Mirabar. That's just north of Gauntlgrim.
So, and is there anybody in Gauntlgrim that you can make contact with immediately?
No, they're dwarves. Dwarves pretty much shun the alliances.
But didn't you mention somebody specifically? Like somebody, I mean, all you need is familiarity with somebody.
Brunner.
Sending.
Yeah, Brunner Battlehammer. He's the dwarf that runs the place.
Brunner Battle.
Brunner Battle.
Oh, and so you know him by reputation, personally.
Yes. Yeah. He's
okay.
yes. He's good. He's a good man. He's a good dwarf. But if he knows what you know, he will help you. I have to assume.
where is the Dawn Titan? Okay.
It's in Gauntlgrim. It's the basis of the forge. Gauntlgrim is the only forge in the land that can forge adamantium. It's the only one hot enough.
Could we get there?
And it's because they've trapped the Dawn Titan. The Dawn Titan powers their forges.
All right. Well, yeah,
Are
I
we
think
able to go through the crags, or do we have to? God, I don't know how to get to Gauntlgrim from there.
Well,
Can I get a map of?
Yep.
It's Sword Coast, Mirabar. You would travel. Oh my God!
Thank you.
You would either have
Gauntlgrim
to
is
go
here.
through.
Mirabar is there. I mean, there's also Neverwinter. So, yeah, it's actually probably, now that I look at it, it's probably closer to Neverwinter.
yeah.
This is
If
Crowan
you go
looking down at the
through-
map.
It's much
It's like,
closer.
well,
If
you
you go
either
through the
way,
rivers-
you're going to have to go cross country, whether it's Neverwinter Wood or, the Crags. But, I mean, the Crags are loaded with orcs and barbarians, but the Neverwinter Wood, I mean, you never really know.
If we take Neverwinter, we go down the river. This is a river, right, running through?
Yep. Yeah, you could take the river. I'm sure right now there might not be river captains willing to take you, but there's certainly people.
If we
Yeah.
take
Don't
the
we have a
river, I'm
boat?
singing the bare necessities the whole
Listen,
time.
I'm wearing plate armor. I don't want to be anywhere near water.
Yes.
You don't want to be anywhere near. Oh, I'm sorry, never.
Hey, listen, don't get on the boat. That's the rule. Don't get on a boat.
I mean, but if
Alright,
we
I
take
think-
so we either have to walk the crags with orcs and barbarians and all that, or we go into Neverwinter, we take the river out into the woods, and then
Why
it
can't we
looks
just
like
go to the woods?
And Vaarnock says you could also go to Mirabar and take the Marar River. That'll take you that'll take you south real fast, and then you can just cross through the plains there down to Gaunt. You don't necessarily have to go through the crags.
Who knows
So he's
what creatures
pointing
live in
along the river here.
Yeah, so that river
That
actually
seems like the
runs
best
south.
option.
Yeah,
I was
And
gonna
then-
say you're going to
and then you can head down south from there. That
Okay,
might be
so
the
that river-
fastest.
You don't know
So
what
that
creatures
river-
live. You don't know creatures live beneath those waters. But we shall go.
That's true.
Okay,
Especially
so we could
nowadays.
actually- sorry. So we could actually take the river down south, but we don't have to, like, that would take us down. That doesn't run north.
Correct. It runs to the ocean.
It runs to the ocean. Okay.
Wait, I have a question though. Why can't we just go from Neverwinter like northeast and into the?
You can.
We could,
That's an
but
option.
that's like through the plains, through the woods, and then
Does
we
that-
run into the mountain.
But
Like,
Vaarnock seems
Yeah,
to think that taking the river would be fastest from
Yeah,
Mirabar,
no, you're
right?
You're right. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
That was
If you catch a boat going down the Mirar, you can make some good time.
fair enough.
Sorry, Naruk.
It will expend less energy.
You can take the armor off and just put
No,
it
I look
back
too good in
on.
this, man. I went from AC 15 to 22. This is insane.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. Like,
How is
my
the
freaking
camel
mind.
tankier than me?
Where's
He's a
the-
camel.
No, do you
Oh,
have-
he is
do you
wearing
have
plate
a-
armor.
plate armor and a cloak?
Oh, you've got
and
the
a sh-
cloak too?
Yeah, I got the cloak of protection.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's insane. So, like, and do you have a shield?
No shield.
That seems too high.
Yeah, how's that 22?
Well, remember, he's a
so
camel.
It's 19 for the plate by itself. 18
Yeah.
plus 1.
Yeah.
Plus
And then the
my
2.
dexterity 2, plus the cloak of protection plus 1.
You don't get your dexterity when you're wearing
Oh, yeah, you don't.
What? Okay.
medium armor. You get up to 2 of your dexterity.
Yeah.
Then
Oh,
why
it does
did
say dex none. It doesn't, it's not even counting your dex.
so it's
Okay,
base-
let's see. So the glamour plate is base 18 plus 1. So your base is 19. You have the cloak of protection. That's a plus 1. That
Yeah,
gets you
but-
to 20. You have a miscellaneous 1. Where's
That's the
that?
cloak.
come
That's
from?
the cloak.
Oh, that's the cloak. Okay. You're proficient, right? Oh, what does that mean?
I'm
Why
proficient
are
in
you-
because I'm a life cleric. I'm proficient in heavy armor.
Oh, there we go. Okay, it's 20. I had to unequip your leather armor. You don't get to wear your studded leather armor under your plate armor.
Oh, I thought I unequipped that. I
That's
didn't
what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So you
Oh, yeah.
you're 20. Yeah, so you got the solid 20.
Okay. Oh, I just like unattuned it. I didn't unequip it. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't unequip it.
Well, 20's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
what
pretty
does
good.
what does Naruk's armor look like, since it can look however you want?
Yeah, that's right. Do you remember that plate armor just looked like a strap on Blix?
Let's see, glamored.
And you can change it like however you want, right? Like anytime.
Whenever,
much.
yeah. You just speak the command word and it changes.
It's got
You can make it look like a silk shirt
No,
Yeah,
it's
just
got-
in case it comes up. What's it take
with
action wise?
chains and gold and stuff hanging from your
Like a
neck.
pimp suit.
it's got Technicolor sequins.
I love it. Yes.
There we go.
It's
Beautiful.
fantastic.
That is perfect. I hate to be fair about news, but it is 2:30.
Oh, it is 2:30.
Yeah, I'm hungry
Wow.
as shit. I gotta eat lunch. Ugh.
I thought for
Like,
sure you were gonna fight giants today.
I know, me too, but we all were like,
Yeah.
we were like, we need information, and then we were all scared about teleporting. Oh
So you
yeah,
got a lot of information. Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't get to kill anyone though. Sorry, Vark.
Poor Vark.
Hi, Mark.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Okay, so
next week.
Next time we absolutely have to kill things.
We will kill everything.
Yeah. So
Not everything.
is the next week
Yeah,
Easter?
not the
I believe
Yeah,
next
next
week
week's
is
Easter.
Easter. Yeah.
Okay.
and
All
we're,
right.
I know
we're
I
all
won't be here.
Okay.
Oh, you won't?
No, I won't be here.
Yeah.
My family's doing stuff.